At first I thought there wouldn't be enough information on TextBlock to do a video. I thought it'd be like doing a video on label in Windows Forms. And in fact, there's so much information involved in TextBlock, I probably could do about 20 videos. And that's largely because XAML and WPF are combining C# in the case of our implementation language, and web concepts like HTML and CSS. In fact, I would say they're more powerful than HTML and CSS by quite a margin. In any case, the web block attributes we're going to look at in this are name, text wrapping, which allows a text to wrap within the block, background, which gives a background color, foreground, which gives a color of the text, font family, which gives a font family of the text, and font size, which gives a font size of the text, and margin, which more or less allows us to space the two text blocks I have in the video. And I'm going to have another video on margin, border, and padding, which are really interesting concepts for spacing. And then text alignment, which in one case I have center, and in the other case I default to left. And we also look at some inline formatting object elements of bold, italic, and underline, all of which have analogies in HTML. And also at the run nested object element, which sort of allows you to put a differently formatted block of text within the text block, or a number of those if you want to have a number of runs. Well, this is the two text blocks, which appear exactly as they're going to appear when we run the program in the design view. And the XAML, I'd expand that out. The XAML essentially has a stack panel, which I'll also discuss in another video, within the grid. And the stack panel is another layout that simply stacks things one on top of another by the default orientation. And then I have a text block with the name TextBlock1, the text wrapping equal to wrap, a background of red and the foreground of white, which is the text color, a font family of Comic Sans NS, and a font size of 24, and then a margin. And the way the margin works is the first number specifies the left, the second number specifies the top, the third number specifies the right, and the fourth number specifies the bottom. So this will have 20 pixels on top and 20 pixels on the bottom, and then 15 on both the left and the right. And then for the content, I end the tag and have the content between the opening tag and the closing tag, which is one of two ways of representing content. You can also have content, or I think it's a text value for text block, and set that text attribute equal to something, which if you had shorter text would probably be the way to go, but we're putting quite a bit of text in the text block, so we put it between the opening and the ending tag. And within this we have bold and end bold to bold the word text block, and italic and end italic to turn lightweight into italics, and underline and end underline to underline the word specific. So we're using inline object elements that are just like elements in HTML, actually. In fact, elements going way back. And then second text block is much the same way. The main thing that's different is I have a text alignment equal to center. So it'll center text that are not filling the box, that are left over, so to speak. And a font family of agency FB, which I thought looked kind of cool, and a font size of 34. And then in the margin I have 15 and 15 for the left and right, I have 0 for the top because we're already getting 20 for the bottom of the text block above. So I don't want that to be 40, so I just put 0, so it'll be 20, and then 20 on the bottom. And then once again I put the content between the opening tag and the end tag of the text block, or the opening object element and the end object element. And these are all within a stack panel, so these will be put one on top of the other. So if we compile and run this, you see we get the 2 text blocks, and the run has a character foreground of black, so it changes it within the run. And as always, this is left justified and this is centered. And as always, if you expand this out, it expands to fill the window, which is a nice feature of XAML and WPF, and very much like the web. And this not only works with expanding the windows, but if you change the pixel density on the display and change the size of the monitor and things like that, the various object elements adjust automatically, which is a tremendous step forward from the coordinate-oriented Windows form. So WPF is definitely a huge advance. Probably the most daunting thing about it is there's so much to it. There's so much to learn. But it's like eating an elephant. Just do it one bite at a time. As Hemingway said, "Don't get daunted. Whole secret of my success, never get daunted." As long as you just do a step at a time, you won't get daunted. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot, and I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe.